Until morning. Yes. Do we have students who of late even they don't have interest in bathing? They don't want to bathe, they don't want to brush their teeth, they don't want to wash their uniforms, they just appear anyway. Do we have some students who cannot concentrate in the class even when they really want to? Yes. Okay. Do we have those students who are here and sometimes you are always angry? Yeah. You feel you are just angry. Yeah. And even sometimes you warn your colleagues, don't joke with me because I'm short-tempered. Yeah. Okay. Do we have some students who are here and sometimes even when we are here like this, they just feel they want to be by themselves, they don't want to be with other people. Yeah. They want to stay alone. Do we have students who sometimes have meetings by themselves? Yes. They ask their question and they answer it. Yes. And if the answer is funny, they even laugh at it sometimes. Yes. Do we have students who sometimes begin to talk but whatever they speak is uncoordinated? Yes. Okay. Now this is the most interesting one. Do we have students who feel they are so stressed? And because they are so stressed, they want to take something. And this something is like alcohol. Something like they want to take something like marungi, like opium. So they feel they want to take something. Now, Mr. Headmaster, we are in the right place. Now we are in the right place.
That it is not there.
There's someone we are looking for. If you're the one, please respond.
Peace of Senior 2, report to Claire Aywet for consultation.
Okay.
The newsreader.
Okay. Now, that's why we are here. And we want to address some of these issues and then we're able to see how to help you to be able to come up with this. Because one of the things is many times we struggle with these things and then we don't even seek for help. And the few of us who try to seek for help don't actually seek for help, but they look for sympathy. Someone to say, oh dear, oh sorry, my oh dear. And then at the end of the day, it doesn't actually help us. Now I want to begin with the good news. Sorry, I want to begin with the bad news and then we go to good news. The bad news is, as you had said, all of you are sick.
Yes.
Okay, all of us are sick.
Yes.
The good news, we can actually get help. That's the good news. Now, we have challenges with many things, and most of our mental health is affected because of environmental challenges that we go through. A few cases of inborn challenges, but then majority of these issues that we struggle with are because of mental health challenges. Now, I want to talk about two critical areas, and I believe I will be able to answer many of our unanswered questions which have always been in our minds. Now, one of the things that is crucial for us to address is the issue of our mental well-being. When we talk about mental health, we're not talking about mental illness. Yeah? When we talk about mental health, we're talking about your mental well-being that enables you to work well, to study well, to revise well, to manage your stress well, to realize your ability and your potential, and to be able to contribute to the community. That is mental health. That's why we are advocating for mental health. Why? Because you are able to excel because of mental health. Now, when mental health is challenged because of environmental problems, because of societal problems, because of stress that we talked about earlier on in the morning, because of the various issues that affect mental health, now what happens is our performance begins to decline. That's why for some of us now, when the results are displayed on the notice board, we begin to check our names from down, and then we go up. Because we know where we belong. When performance is declining, it is a sign that there's a problem. I believe some of you used to perform very well, but of late, not performing very well now. So those are the issues that we want to deal with today. Now, one of the issues that is affecting our performance, like I said, is some of the issues that are around us. And then some of these issues, we actually participate in it, and then we invite it to us, and it begins to affect our performance. For example, the issue of alcohol and the drugs. Anybody who begins to take alcohol and the drugs, whether you like it or yes, performance begins to decline. Why? Alcohol and these substances, they are psychoactive drugs. Psychoactive meaning it affects how the mind operates. It affects how the mind reasons. It alters something around the mind. That's why once somebody has taken their substances or their drugs, or they have taken their alcohol, their behavior is changed. Their mood is changed. Their lifestyle changes. Why? Because their mind is also being altered. And then with that, when you go to class, you can revise, but you don't say anything. That's why if you have ever seen anyone who is drunk, the more drunk they are, the more they want to try to open their eyes, but they see nothing. Right? And there is a report that I want to give us here. This is Uganda alcohol report that I want to give for us. Uganda, as I speak now, is number 1 in Africa in terms of alcohol consumption. Don't laugh, oh. And unfortunately, West Nile region, West Nile as a region, has supported Uganda very well in the drinking. That's why Uganda, West Nile region is number 2 behind Karamoja in the drinking. Unfortunately, when you look at West Nile also, West Nile is also in the whole of Uganda is number 2 in terms of poverty. People are very broke, very stressed, and then what happens? We take all the focus on alcohol, and then the alcohol has also added more other injuries, right? Now, when you look at the cases of mental illnesses, the cases of mental health problems in West Nile region, Arua city in particular, I am very convinced every day if you go to Arua city across here, every day you will see a new face of a mental ill person on a daily basis. A new face. And the triggers, mostly for our young people, it is alcohol and these substances, right? Now, if I may just throw a simple question. I know many of you drink.
Yes.
I know. And I want to first ask a simple question. What is the cheapest alcoholic drink within our area? Let's go one by one. There is a chaser, another, Guri. Wait, let's go slowly. Yeah, there is a boss. What else? Kabisa. Ice. Local wine. Spear. Ruler. And many others. Now, hear me and hear me good. Hear me and hear me well. Why many of us are taking these alcoholic drinks is number 1, because of ignorance. Number 2, we give other reasons that we normally give, right? And unfortunately, if you are very keen and you have been in Arua city here for some years now, you are aware that part of one of the brands we've just mentioned was being manufactured here in Arua city. The CT5 gene, right? And how many people died of that drink? Many people died of that drink. It is even in this report. Now, for my brothers who are here and my sisters who are here, I know many of us we've been drinking this out of ignorance.
Yes.
If you are very keen, the cases of cancers related to alcohol is on the rise. That's why now of late, if you have been following news very keenly, we are going to receive a brand new hospital constructed here in Muni, particularly for cancer. Why? Cases of cancer is on the rise here in West Nile. Number two, I am very convinced some of your family members and even my own have died of liver cirrhosis. Why? Because these substances affect directly the liver. Now, when the liver is affected, things begin to fall apart. Now, I want to throw a simple engagement here. I want to demonstrate for us, because sometimes when you see these things, you can be able to believe. I have carried the liver here, fresh liver. Fresh liver as it is. And here, I've carried the ice.
We are requesting, if you are very far, you can get closer. Get closer to see what is being demonstrated.
I've the ruler. I've the spear. And the mighty Kabisa. Now, one of the things I want to bring to our attention is this. Why I am picking interest in these? Listen carefully.
Demonstration is going to be there.
Relax. We're going to have
all your grants are here. So,
now, one of the things that I want us to understand is this. Looking at alcohol as it is.
Hey, can I have that group to keep a silence? If you make noise, you're going to waste a lot of time.
Alcohol is just converting sugar. Okay? When sugar is converted using a catalyst, it turns into alcohol, right? I want to give you a simple scenario. If you buy sugar cane today, buy sugar cane. Don't chew the sugar cane. Give it 3-4 days. Come and chew the sugar cane. The taste will be different. The smell will be different. Why? Already it has turned into alcohol. Only that the alcoholic content in it is actually almost negligible. Alright? Now, when we look at these particular drinks that I have carried, none of these drinks is sold in a bar. True or false? A bar is the only designed platform or place where alcoholic drinks are supposed to be sold. But then, unfortunately, these drinks, which most are not certified, they are not sold in the bars. Where are they sold? They are sold in kiosks, they are sold in shops, they are sold alongside food items. Yes. Because none of it is certified. And besides, if you just have a good look, because I always say, please read what you eat if it has a label. This alcoholic drink, which is in ruler, is 40% alcohol in a small container, as you see it here. Spear, same story, 40%. Kabisa, 13%. 100%. Boss. Now, the question I want to first ask is, for us, whenever we go to drink, do we mix them sometimes? Yes. We mix, eh? Yes. Allow me mix.
Let me open.
Allow me mix them, right? Now, we want to give them a few minutes. We want to give them a few minutes, and then we'll be able to see what happens. That's why, in this report, the number of cases of Ugandans dying of, number one, cancer-related, cancer which is not linked to alcohol. Liver cirrhosis, road traffic accidents, and then substance use disorder, that's now mental illness. There are many, right? Besides, in many cases, many of us, when we are taking these alcoholic drinks, these particular ones, these ones will normally include other things, other stuff that we use, right? Do we have people here in your family you grow marungi? Just feel free. Do we have any? Yes. Where they grow marungi? Yes. They are there? Yes. Very good. Thank you. Now, when they spray with the chemicals, the marungi, when they spray, ideally, is somebody supposed to eat that kind of sprayed marungi? No. When the meal is sprayed? No. But what happens after spraying when a customer comes? Don't we give them? We give. And let me tell you something here. That's why we have a lot of problems with our people. Why? Because we eat these chemicals direct. We take these things direct. What happens? We have problems with our physical health, as well as problems with our mental health. Now, what happens? Let me bring some of the issues, some of the different types of mental disorders for us to understand. Let me begin with the substance use disorder. Now, when somebody uses substances, which are here, I have some of them pictured on my chest, on my stomach, sorry. They are here. What happens is, like I said earlier, these are psychoactive substances and it alters the way the mind operates. That's why when somebody uses these substances, what happens next is their mind does not reason well. What they see is different from what others see. That is why one time in Marata, where he come from, one young man had his 4,000, and because he had used these substances, he began stopping his vehicles that he wants to go to Kampala to buy a fiso. Why? He was already struggling with what we call psychosis in mental disorders. Psychosis. Psychosis is where you live in you don't live in the real world. You live in imaginative world. You don't live in real life. That's why I know some students who are psychotic in this school. For example, there are times somebody has no money, but you find them packing enough papers, loading it and loading it here. Let me
they have a lot of money when there's no money. Broke. But they feel they are rich, right? There are those who are here and they feel they are the president of the country. There are those who begin to feel they are the headmaster. Yet you are not the headmaster. Even I'm sure among us here, there are those who say, I am a celeb. You know, I am a musician. You know, I'm a legend. Yet your voice is singing is like my own. Because some of us, when we sing, we have a moving voice. When we sing, people move away. But then because of psychosis, you feel you are somebody when you are not. Two, because you begin to become psychotic and you're living in a real world, you live in an imaginative world, whatever is around you is different. Number two, I want to talk about what we call depression. Depression is a mental disorder caused by sadness. Something makes you sad, and this sadness affects everything about you. You're always crying. You're always very worried. You're always in that place where you don't see it. Even they don't know happiness. Why? They're always sad. Either because of a loss or because of something that has happened to them that has made them sad. And if they're not helped, this sadness persists, and that's why you go to hospital, they say there's no sickness, but when you are dying of pain. You can have a headache, and the headache is that headache. Sometimes even your head begins to ache in style. One side aches when one side is fine. We have anxiety disorder. Anxiety is because of excessive worry. And because you are excessively worried, sometimes your heart pumps very faster. You are very worried, you can't sleep because you are afraid if you sleep, you're not to wake up. So you are afraid, you have a lot of fear. That's why we have heart palpitations. Sometimes even when you've not eaten anything, you can have diarrhea. You have complications with the breathing. You know, those issues because of anxiety. Because of excessive worry. We have bipolar condition. Bipolar is a medical condition where somebody has both extremes of extreme happiness and extreme sadness, and they continue to oscillate between the two. Now, let me use a simpler English. I'm sure you've heard of people who said they have moody swings. Moody swing. Where anytime you are happy, anytime you are sad, you keep swinging, your mood keeps swinging. Now, if somebody is not helped, one day the swinging will be off balance. One day it will be extreme sadness, which is depression, and extreme happiness, which is mania. Are we together? Yes. We have another condition called schizophrenia. Most people you see walking naked, not caring about whatever is happening, they're walking and they're feeling good. Most of them have schizophrenia. Because how they see life is different from how we see it. For them, when they're naked, they feel they're very, very, very smart in Adam suit. And we see them collecting rubbish because that is where their wealth is. They feel they're wealthy because of their rubbish, their pit. And some of these conditions also are triggered by substances, as I said. Are we together? Yes. Epilepsy is another mental disorder. We have another condition called that we call self-harm. I'm sure you've seen people who try to cut themselves because they want to breathe and feel pain. Yeah, it is also a mental disorder. We have a condition called autism spectrum. Those who are autistic, what happens is their developmental stages are not normal. That's why you have a child who can be 3 years but he's not talking. That is as a result of that autistic spectrum. Let them kill it. Now, let me come. Peace. When you don't disturb insects, they don't disturb you, right?
Now, all of this, like I said, are triggered under different circumstances. Some of the causes are family problems. Some of the problems are like here at school level. Some of these challenges, most of our challenges, we carry them from home. That's why you come here, teacher is teaching very well, your mind is at home. How there's no school fees. You are worried. And that worry brings anxiety. And this anxiety begins to manifest. That's why there are people sometimes, they can be here, you look at them and you're like, okay, you're my friend, but he's not looking at you as a friend. That's why sometimes you want to stay alone. Because you don't trust others. You feel your whole world is yourself. Headmaster told us that we are 900 people here, right? Over 900 people. But even when we are so many here, some of us are feeling so very lonely. Yet there are people around us, right? That's why some of you are singing the song of Lonely. These are coming because of this. Alright? That's why we must be able to address these issues. We must be able to address these issues. Why? If we don't help, things will fall apart. Quickly, I want to run to how do we address these issues. Quickly, because of time. Number one, when it is still starting, because everything starts, right? When you are beginning to feel some of these things, when you are beginning to feel, your mood is beginning to be affected, you're not performing very well, there is something troubling you, there's something that is troubling your mind, please talk to somebody. Number two, talk to counselors. Good enough the teachers are here, you can engage them.
Which one?
Meet the senior woman, meet the senior man, engage, talk to somebody. They will be able to help you. Because let me tell you something here, I have always said this many times, you are as sick as your deepest secrets that you keep yourself. Now, in West Nile, many of us are struggling with another mental disorder that I had not mentioned yet, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, something happened to you that you didn't expect, right? Something you didn't expect has happened to you. And then you keep this pain within you and you don't tell you don't seek for help. But you've been through some stress, you've been through some traumatic event. Now what happens next is you will begin to have flashbacks of what happened. That's why some of you cannot sleep when the room is dark. Why? Some time back something happened when the room was dark. There are places you've never gone back to and you don't want to go there. Why? Something wrong happened there. So when you're walking, then when you remember, when you reach there, you take off. You run there, but even when there's nobody. Why? In your memory, something wrong that happened to you might still happen again. And because we are struggling with the post-traumatic stress disorder, and our trauma here is at various levels. Some people never experienced the trauma, but we have generational trauma. What do I mean by that? For example, when our forefathers begin to tell us that during the war, 1979 and 1980, for instance, when they begin to explain to you on Bati massacre, how people were killed and they were buried in mass graves, because you cannot now dig graves for one by one because there were too many people killed. When they narrate stories of how young mothers were told to pound their own babies in mortars. Now, these issues, the more you listen to them, though you don't see it with your eyes, you begin to feel the impact of the traumatic experience they witnessed. So this trauma continues to come. That's why every time they begin to tell you these stories, you begin to feel bad, right? Your mood is affected already. So you feel bad, and then sometimes even you begin to cry. You're not crying because you witnessed it, but you are crying because of the pain that you begin to imagine. That's why many of you, when you are watching Nigerian movies, especially love stories, you cry, not so? What makes you cry?
is not because, but you're beginning to relate with the former. You're beginning to relate with that person's experience. And this begins to affect you as well. Are we still learning?
Yes.
That's why our trauma here is deep-rooted. Now, we need to address these issues. One of it, as I said, talk to somebody. Most of these issues can be addressed because these are psychological problems. They can be addressed through psychologists. That's why we have psychotherapy, trying to help you process these issues, to help you develop a better mind, to help you deal with some of the coping skills, and also help you to see how you can be able to manage. That's the role of the psychologists and the counselors. Second one, how do you manage? Second is your body needs treatment. If it is severe, we might need to put somebody on medication. And different medication works for different mental disorders. Please, I want to announce to you this. There is no herbal medicine that treats mental illness. Nobody should lie to you. Why? I've just mentioned the different types. If somebody has depression, he or she is given antidepressants. If somebody is having psychosis, he is given antipsychotic drugs. If somebody has bipolar, he or she is given mood stabilizers plus other medications. So not every mental disorder is the same. Somebody whose medical condition is caused by substances. There are substances, there are also drugs for treating that. So please, I want to announce, nobody should lie to you that once you have this, you must be taken to a shrine, given herbal medicine, it will not work. Number 3, the third way of managing this, prayer. That is why I am very convinced some of you have sung a song that I am going to sing for you. Yes. Let the living waters flow over my soul. Let your Holy Spirit come and take control in every situation that has troubled my mind. All my cares and burdens unto you I go. Christian, you have a nice choir here. Now, that is the simplest way I can narrate for you how we address these issues. That is why whatever is troubling your mind, when you pray, things are sorted. Are we together? Number 2, I am very convinced some of you have ever gone for prayers and then you go when you are very discouraged, but you come out when you are very encouraged, right? Yes. That is what happens. Now, let me still come back. Let us check how far with our liver in the few minutes we've taken, right? Is this how our liver was? No. Are we able to observe how our liver is now? Are we able to see how the liver has cooked? Are we able to observe how the liver has turned into? That is why I said something here in the beginning. When we are eating things, we eat things that we don't see, we don't understand, we don't know. Now, a few minutes yet, not that long ago when I began this talk, now the liver turned to this. Now, what happens, and how do you think your liver is now after all the consumption
of what is here. Let's also check this on our side, and we see how the liver is.
Yeah. I don't know as well.
Any difference?
No.
The good news is, if you are here and students said because of peer pressure, because of whatever reason, you had started any of these, just I want to call upon you, apply a break. The good news with the liver is the liver regenerates itself under normal circumstances. But the more you continue to kill it, it dies. That's why, like I said earlier, many of our relatives have died because of liver cirrhosis. This is the simplest explanation I can give you. And the liver cirrhosis is because of alcohol. And I'm sure you have relatives or friends who have been taken to hospital and the doctors tell them, if you love your life, stop. The beauty, like I said, is once somebody stops, the liver has its own capacity to regenerate itself. Now, what happens is when it comes to now treatment for such condition, such a patient or such a person will need to be detoxed. Now, when detox is happening, detox helps to remove the alcohol content in the liver, as well as give it another momentum to be able to regenerate itself because of the damage. I said it earlier, none of these alcoholic drinks is healthy for you as a student. Why? 40% is just killing you. It's killing 40%. Many of us, we get to a place where we feel, after all, what is there to lose? Please, I want to call upon all of us who are here today. Your life still counts. Whatever has happened to you is not important. What matters most is today. From today forward, what can work out. I want to tell you a few of my stories. I don't have the time, but I will share. I am one of those who is born of this area. After 15 years of my life working and living in central Uganda, I decided to rethink and come back home to be able to bring these programs. Why? I've lived here myself. I've been through the sufferings that many of us suffer. My life in the village has never been as easy as many of you. Are we still together? Some of you are struggling, some of you are taking these things because boys have told you, or guys have told you that you're not good enough. Yeah. Let me tell you, with or without the nyash, you are beautiful. But people have made you think that you're not good enough. People make you feel that you are not good enough. And this does not only begin from here, it begins right from childhood, right from home, right from family. I know personally, growing up, things are not easy. But by God's grace, here we are today. Growing up, students know me as OC. OC because of the shape and nature of my nose. If you see my nose, you will believe that it is not normal. They say mine is extra large. And they call me often consumer OC because of that. And I can tell you, most of my O-level and A-level days, I never used to love myself. Those days, some of you who are old enough, you know
during our days, we didn't have enough photographers in town. There was only one to Sajo. Yes. Where the man comes and then organizes you very well and then comes to take. The man will organize me very well like this. Then when he's taking, I look down. Why? Every time I will see myself in the mirror, the first thing I see is the nose. Trademark is the nose. And I can tell you, I never used to love myself because of the way I looked. I didn't like it. To make it worse, in marital SS, one student abused me and said, if they hide me among them, they can't find me. That added another wound. And up to now, by the way, up to now, when I am in Kampala, when I am coming to board the bus, the brokers first ran to me and said, Juba direct, Juba direct, Juba direct. Then I quickly, those days I will feel more hurt and offended. Because the more they told me Juba direct, you understand what they were meaning. First of all, my color. I didn't like it. But I can tell you, that thing used to stress me. That's why I want to tell anyone who is here, you are very stressed. Especially because of the way you look. Accept yourself the way you are. Accept yourself the way you are. Otherwise, you are going to be more stressed for nothing. Yet you are beautiful and handsomely made. That explains why sometimes you find now people, even right now. By the way, if you go to Arua city here, sister, they have introduced a cloth called the nyash. Yeah. That you can wear. Yeah. But here, you know, here God gave you a flat range. A bit flattish. But then you go to town, you buy this nyashi baika. Yeah. So that when you are walking, it appears as if you have nyashi, but when there's nothing. Please, be you. Accept yourself to be you. Don't try to be like another person. Be you. One day I also went to the beach. And then some guy made a comment and said they keep charcoal in the sacks. Yes, they keep charcoal in the sacks. You know, when you're going to the beach, you don't move in your trousers, right? Yes. You put in something short and you're trying to feel good. Then the guy tells us that, they keep charcoal in the sacks. That was a big insult, right? Yes. But I can tell you, without charcoal you can sleep hungry, right? Yes. Accept yourself the way you are. You could be here, you're struggling because of your height. I know some of you are summarized in height. Accept it. Because, let me tell you something here. Because there is something only you can do in that height. There is something that only you can do. Some of you are here, maybe by accident or something happened and then you lost one eye. That will begin to make fun of you. Let me tell you something here. Have you seen a cameraman? Yes. When they're taking pictures, do they use both eyes? No. Why must they close one eye so that they can take a better picture? So that they're able to focus. Go for physics practicals of pins and use both eyes to arrange your pins and see if you will see light. You must close one eye, yo. So nobody should make fun of you just because you have one eye. There's something that you can do with that one eye. Even if somehow you are a bit crippled, don't let them make fun of you because there's something only you can do in that crippledness. You may have your own pose, but accept yourself the way you are. That's my point. Otherwise, if you don't accept yourself, chances are, number one, you are going to begin to look for external objects trying to validate how you look. That explains why some people end up trying to paint their faces. And before you know it, you will not even be beautiful. Have you seen some roasted banana? Please, accept yourself the way you are. Number two, learn to build what we call resilience. One of the things that built us is resilience. We were resilient enough to know
that whatever happens, life must happen. Please, I want to call upon all of you. If you begin to feel that you have a challenge, like I said, seek for help early. Number 2, accept yourself the way you are. Number 3, don't allow others to influence your life. I know people say it is because of peer pressure. Today I want to bring for you good news. Yes. You cannot have pressure because you're not a tube. It is only tubes that must have pressure. Tubes, bicycle tubes, car tires, they need pressure, right? But you are not a tube. Please know why you are here. I know some of you, because of whatever happens, now you are here. Even when you are for preps, somebody comes and tells you, please come and escort me to the toilet. You just escort to the toilet. Please know why you are here.
Come on.
Don't just move with anybody, because at the end of the day, you will stand alone. You know why you are here. You know what you want to become. You know why you want to study. Please follow that dream. As I end, I want to call upon all of you. Let me tell you something here. If you don't know where you're going,
Just know where you're coming from.
at least know where you're coming from. And then you can strategize and then begin the journey afresh. But I wish all of you that you should be able to have fruitful destinations in your studies, in your career. Which career you should be able to align it in with what you're able to do. Don't try to become a doctor when you know you're not good in sciences. If you still want to become a medical doctor yet you are not good in sciences, I can tell you, you might still become a doctor, but a witch doctor. What am I saying? Develop yourself based on your area of strength. Understand your areas of strength. Build your career there. If you're good in sports, please build it, because talents are given by God. Those people will say, if you're doing fine art, it is because you are not the wise in the class. No! It is a gift. It is a gift that you should be able to nurture. So I want to call upon all of you. Please, if it is in your powers, today, the 5th of March, 2025, which is also the Ash Wednesday, which is also our beginning point for our Lent season, please try to say no to drugs.